Hi, it's Nicole from mychristmas.com.au. And do you struggle with your lights on your Christmas tree? A lot of people do. So what we've done is created this really simple video for you. We made it while we were setting up a tree in our display area, and we're going to give you 3 easy options to light your tree. Simple scattering, medium coverage and full coverage of lights. I hope you find it useful. So Cara, you've put the lights on the tree here. We've started with the everyday lights, which have got a space of about 10 centimetres between the lights in the warm white colour. I noticed a couple of things you did when you started, so tell us what your tips and tricks are.
I normally start with dividing the lights into the centre point, and I attach the centre of the lights up at the top of the tree. And then I take one line and I just leave one down so I know where the centre is of my tree. And then I just wind the lights on this side all the way down to the bottom of the tree, and then I get the other piece that was just hanging here and I just do the other side.
Perfect. So with these lights, these are about a 16-metre length, and that's exactly what Cara's done, is exactly what we recommend. 16 metres is really hard to work with if you're doing a full length,
yes.
But by dividing it in 2, you've got nice, easy 8-metre length pieces of light to work with. We've decided to just use the 2 sides, or the one set of lights, so yes. 240 lights on the front. So we have only lit the front of this tree. It's a 2.28 metre or 7.5 foot tree. It's a slim variety though, so just take that into account. But you can see the sort of coverage of lights, and we've got a video I'll show you in a moment of Cara actually putting them on, so you can see that way of sliding them down.
And then pushing them in too.
Yes, so
pushing.
That's right. So when you start, you kind of layer them in and then get them in once you know you've got your spacing right.
And once the decoration's on as well, that hides the cords.
Absolutely. Everyone worries at this point that you see the cords, although I must say you've done an awesome job. I can barely see them. But once your decks are on, you're so right, you just don't see them at all. So this kind of lighting gives you a really nice sort of scattering of lights over the tree. By winding them down the tree, if your tree's in a corner like ours, you don't have to waste lights at the back.
Yep.
It's much easier than going all the way around the tree and finding your lights are too short, you end up with a big gap. Of,
yes.
of no lights and so forth. Divide and conquer is always kind of how we're doing it with the lighting. And so this is our first style of lighting, which is the simplest way to go with, and then Cara's going to come back in here and we're going to actually show you 2 more ways to use the lighting. So we thought we'd stop halfway through these lights to show you what we've done. So these are the cluster lights that I was talking about earlier, and we've just joined our second set of lights, and the way Cara's been working this is to just lay it onto the branches in the middle, and then as we build the next row of branches, layering around all the way. So this is just giving us lovely fullness and filler of lights. And then if we want to, and what I often do with mine, is you'll see that we'll set them to twinkle while the other ones are static, and that gives you a really pretty effect with the lights. So we're going to keep building that, and we can show you the end result once we add our additional sort of everyday fairy lights over the top. So what we're doing now is we've got the lights through the middle of the tree, and Cara has now used the lights that were in our original video, the first option, our everyday lights, which have the actual lights sort of 10 centimetres apart, and she's now just winding them back through the tree to put over the top to give the scattering of lights at the on the tips of the tree. She's once again connected the middle point of the tree and is winding down on the left and the right. In our third option, Cara is now using our much closer set lights, so they're really lovely full coverage of lights, almost as full as the cluster lights down the middle. And rather than just winding them around the outside of the tree, she's actually pushing them into the tree. So you can see she's kind of coming in and out on each branch of the tree
to make sure that you get really full coverage. She only needs to go through to the middle to the point where we've got our cluster lights, because we've obviously already got that lighting coming through, but it's a lovely way to make sure you have a really full coverage of lights on your tree.
So there's 3 main sets of lights that we've been showing you today and options for your tree. The first one is the main fairy light. This is a new style of lighting that we've had this year and last. It's like our old connectable lights. So in this case, the distance between each light is about 7 centimeters, and you end up with a 16-meter string of lights with 240 lights on the string. We've used warm white in everything we've done here, but they also do come in the cool white as well. These are great on the outside of the tree if you just want a scattering of lights, and really if budget's important and you just want a little bit of light, then these are the perfect solution for you. If you want to go a little bit further and you wanted to add a string of lights down the middle of the tree, so even in this tree, even though we've used a different light on the outside, we have got in the middle the second option. This is our cluster lights. I'm going to leave these all tied up because it's a new box, but these have lights that are only every 2 centimeters, so they're very closely packed together, and we've used them in the middle of the tree and actually set them on twinkling so that we have the variation between the lights on the outside and then those twinkling lights on the inside. So you could use this, as we showed you in the video, with the sort of everyday fairy lights on the outside, or you can use them with the third lighting option. And I'm actually going to just pull these off the tree because I've used them all on the tree. And just to show you what we've done here is we've used an in-between light. So this one is looks to me like it's about every 3 to 5 centimeters. So it's closer than these, further apart than the cluster lights. And what we've done in this tree is we've just fed them in and out of the tree. So we've actually pushed them all the way through the tree to give really full coverage, right into the middle, in and out, rather than our winding down like we did with our general coverage lights that we just wanted to have a simple scattering. This way you're going to get more light through. You can still see some of the cords sitting here. We haven't played with them yet. So once we put your ornaments on, then you can do the final play of the lights. If any of them are showing, hide them, push them into your foliage a little bit more so that you don't have to worry about the cords. They won't look that different to a pre-lit tree. And if anyone's sitting there going, why would I bother with all of this? I could have a pre-lit tree. Let me just tell you, a pre-lit tree is convenient. However, if your lights blow on a pre-lit tree, your tree is ruined. If you have a beautiful tree, the quality of our Triumph trees is, we've carried them for 17 years now. They're amazing trees. Come unlit, so you can light them yourself. If anything happens, you can just take the lights off, replace them with new lights the following year. So that's the advantage of keeping the two parts separate. But all of these lights are part of our new range of lights that we have for you this year. They're on the website mychristmas.com.au. If you're not sure how many lights you need or have got questions, don't hesitate to contact us. Hope this has been helpful. Have a great day.